Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let's see, when we left off on this one, this is our $900 flip car, 06 Pontiac G6. Needed a little bit of body work, and we fixed it. Look, she looks pretty nice now. Remember how beat up all that was? It looked terrible. I think this is gonna work. This is in sealer, so she's basically ready to paint, but there is one more step I wanted to show you guys for everybody that's here to watch the step-by-step process of getting this car ready to sell. This is for you. So yeah, before we actually paint this, we're gonna need to kind of address the edges of our bodywork here. See out here where our sealer ends. Some of you might ask, like, why didn't you just seal the whole panel? You don't have to. All you have to seal is the work that you did. All of our bodywork is in this area. That's all that needs to be sealed. It's all been primed and blocked in the last video, and now it's time for sealer. This is the last step before actually spraying paint onto the surface. Basically what you want to do is come out here on the edges. Probably take you maybe some 600 grit sandpaper. You could probably get by with the red Scotch-Brite pad by itself. In this case, I'm using a piece of that red Scotch-Brite as my pad. I don't want to just come on here and use my fingers and start sanding. I hate doing that. It's not good, so I'm not going to recommend that you do it either. You need some kind of a pad in there, and I have found that the Scotch-Brite itself actually works as a pretty decent pad. So, and all we're doing, this is all we're doing, you guys. Look, we're just going to come out here and just kind of hit this surface right out here just past our sealer, where the sealer ends. The reason being is there's going to be overspray out there. All right, if you were to come in and feel this before I hit it with that, it would be rough. And what's going to happen is when you spray your paint on there, especially gold, silver, things like that, colors that are comprised of a lot of metallics, which, you know, gold and silver, those are some of the worst. If you were to spray that over that, oh my goodness, you should feel that. If you were to spray over that, you would never hide it. It would look so bad. It would create what they call a halo effect. You would literally have like a halo ring around your bodywork, right around where that spray, right, you know, where your spray pattern ended, basically. Yeah, just let your sealer dry to the touch, which is what you're supposed to be doing before you paint it anyway. You wouldn't want your sealer to still be wet when it comes time to put your paint on. So this is all dried for a few hours now. We could come in and do what we need to do here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to skim right over it. We're going to knock down all that nasty overspray, make this look really, really nice and smooth. After that, I mean, you see how easy it is. We're not trying to dig in. We're not trying to change its shape any way, shape, or form, because we've already got everything blocked, dialed in. It feels really nice and straight. We don't want to change that. So that's why we're using a very fine sandpaper, something that's not going to really get in there and change anything other than just knocking down this overspray out on the edge. So at this point, we got everything sanded down. It's really smooth. Very smooth. Before, it was very rough out on the end, so that'll do nicely. Just get me some lint-free paper towels, and of course our spray away glass cleaner. This stuff works great for a final wipe down before painting. Before we did any body work, did anything at all, we wiped everything down with acetone. That's what you want to do before you do any kind of body work or anything like that. That will strip away any kind of wax, grease, anything like that. But now that we're like way past that, I mean, we're doing a final wipe down, getting ready for paint, and this is what you could use here. This works really good. They've got special cleaners for all of that, but I've been doing this for years with this. I talked to other painters over the years. They do it too. It works really good. They say don't sit and wipe back and forth. That's what I was always taught. I was always taught one pass, flip the rag. See here, we're going to flip it over to a clean side, and then we can hit it again. This time we'll kind of come up inside of the jam here. Come on around like so. See, it picks up a lot of dust, even though we've been wiping on it already a few times throughout the course of this. Went ahead and swapped my rag out, got me a brand new one. Still see we're picking up stuff. Probably a good thing we went ahead and took that mirror off. Look at all the trapped dirt in behind there. That'll blow out right into your paint job. We'll pour just a little bit of acetone on a rag here. This will help clean out up in here in the splash shields. This stuff's notorious for having lots of road grime, obviously, and then armor all as well. And there's no way tape is going to stick to that. I don't think the glass cleaner is going to be enough to take care of that, so I like to use something a little more aggressive, something that won't hurt the plastic, but yet will get all of that nastiness off of there. And acetone seems to work pretty well for that. We'll get the front splash shield as well, of course. I'll probably even go along the bottom of here, this little piece of trim down here. Go ahead and clean it off with this as well. I promise you, man, that tape will stick really, really good once you do this. I'm trying a new tape. It's still 3M. 3M is about the only kind of tape I like to use. It's really good stuff. A little pricey, especially nowadays. A roll of tape is $10, y'all. Pretty ridiculous. But I did find this at Walmart. This is the Scotch Blue, and it seems to be working. I've been using it just a little bit on my light masking, just to mask off these little areas that we went through and primed and sealed and all of that. And it seems to stick very well. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with it, because 2 rolls of this is $9. 2 rolls, $9, versus 1 roll of the green or the yellow that I normally use, also made by 3M. For some reason, man, that stuff is $10 a roll right now, and we just ain't doing it. So you guys wish me luck, man. Hopefully this stuff will pan out. I'm going to start off one end and work our way to the other. I used to hate masking, and anymore I just look at it like, you know what? All the hard stuff is over, man. All that grinding, all the welding, the block sanding, it's over, man. This is the downhill slide right here. We'll just kind of slow down at this point and just get in here and mask all of this off. What I've done is I put my tape on here. You can see I've stuck it on like that, and then we roll it over on itself. You see that? What that's going to do is create a soft edge. For everybody that doesn't know, we now have, this is the sticky side out right here. We got it rolled over, and we have a soft edge instead of a hard tape line. If we just run a piece of tape in there normal, we'd have a hard tape line when we're done. So what'll happen is when I'm spraying along here, that overspray will hit the soft edge of this, and then when we peel our tape off, you won't notice. You just won't notice it. It won't be a hard edge right there, a tape line, in other words. Now, the other cool part of doing it that way is we'll be able to come in and drape our plastic over this. The plastic is gonna hit this and adhere to it, because that's the sticky side out. And then we come through and just trim it right off and expose the area that we want to paint, and leave the plastic on the area that we don't want to paint, and you'll already have something to stick to right here. So you see what we're doing here, just kind of covering up the jam. You don't have to get super carried away, just kind of loosely mask it off so that overspray doesn't blow in there. Again, same thing like we did on the front. We just kind of back taped this edge, creating us a nice soft edge. We should be able to shut this down and not have to worry about anything getting inside the jam. Of course, we'll follow that on around and cover this pocket. Okay, so you can see there we've outlined the entire work area. Remember, we're painting the whole side of this car, so we went around the outside of the entire area from front to back, all the way around, even inside the jams here. You can see we got tape wrapped all the way around there. This is all sticky side out. That's so that our plastic will stick to it here in just a minute. Got me a little cheap roll of plastic here. This is not normally what I use. This is just stuff I picked up at Walmart. Very, very cheap. I believe it's 10 feet wide. That should get us close to what we need. We may have to go over it twice. It's actually working out perfect. Look at that. Hell yeah. Now we get in here, kind of spread this stuff out. Just kind of start unfolding it. It'll unfold several times. So check it out, we got our first piece of plastic wrench. This is what I wanted to show you. See how remember we had it all back taped with the sticky side up? Well, now my plastic is stuck to that, creating a nice seal. Keep all the dirt from that engine bay blowing out at us. Now all I gotta do is just come along through here with the razor blade and just trim that right off. And we'll have a nice soft edge for our paint to lay against. Yeah, man, just come through here with your razor blade like that. Look at that. It don't get much easier than that. Just trim it right along that rolled edge of that tape. just about to get all wrapped up here. I wanted to show you guys, this is how we do the door openings. You just want to stick your plastic to the tape. Remember, the sticky side was out, and then you just come back through with your razor knife and just trim all that off. It's really easy. So there you have it, completely masked off and ready to go. She's relatively clean, but just in case we touched it with, you know, our fingerprints and things like that, putting the masking on, we will give it a final wipe down with our Sprayway glass cleaner and lint-free paper towels before we start spraying. So I showed you guys the paint system before. Got this from O'Reilly's, about $150 for the paint. It comes with the reducer and then the catalyst here. Thought I'd take a second while I was at it. Check this out, man. Somebody sent us some fan mail. A whole pack of razor blades. Perfect timing because I just needed those. I was out and I was about to buy more. So look, we're saving more money with that. Let's see, you left a note, just a little something to assist you in your endeavors. I enjoy watching your channel. Thanks, Bruce Coleman. Very much appreciated, Bruce, no doubt about it. Like I said, perfect timing. I was getting ready to have to buy a pack of razor blades. And check this out, you guys, there's more. Look at this, man. Oh my God. Packs of X-Acto knives. Look at this. Man, we got enough knives to last us for a long time. These come in super handy anytime you're masking cars off. So thanks again, Bruce Coleman. Very much appreciated. So we've got everything masked off, clean, wiped down. We're ready to spray. I've got all my parts staged up. Check it out. You guys remember the door stand that we made when we was doing the 59? Well, we're using it on here too, man. That's nice. We'll be able to edge it in. That's where we spray the back side. We'll be able to do the back and the front all together at the same time. We got the hood over here ready to go. And then we got the that old bumper that we kind of smoothed up there. Got it ready to go as well. That's the trim for the back door. We're gonna go ahead and spray it while we're at it just to make sure everything matches. But before we do that, I wanted to give a shout out this time to Ryan Englehart. This guy donated us a whole roll of masking paper. Very much appreciated, guy. I've been using that on a few projects already. We used it on this one as well. That stuff comes in handy. He's been watching me do this for a while now, using the old newspaper, stuff like that. And he sent us that paper, and we do appreciate it. You want to spin your can around over to the side, and right there will be your mixing instructions. And the way this goes is it will be half and half, basically, like this whole can right here, and then half of another can of this stuff over here. This is the reducer, and then it just wants half a part of this at the end. This is what actually makes it dry. Without this paint will never dry. So just a tad bit at the end. All right, there we go. So it's going to take all of this. So let's just go ahead and pour it all in there. Might as well. Pour it through the strainer. Most paint shops, including O'Reilly's, will give you sticks and strainers for free. So make sure you ask for them. So there's that. I want to set this here if it'll stay. There we go. Okay. Now here we go. This is our reducer. We'll just fill this can halfway up. Might as well strain it. Why not? Now, like I said, we're just using leftovers. So we're using what's left of both of these cans here, and that should give us what we need. If it doesn't, we have more. Get this up about the halfway mark. Yeah, that's actually going to work out perfectly. Look at that. It's like it's meant to be. Alright, so there's that. Good way to wash your can out. That way we're getting everything out of it, right? We'll strain it again, man. You can't strain this stuff enough. There we go. So we are fully reduced at this point. All we need now is the hardener, and it's not going to take very much of that at all. So they say half a part. We'll get her all stirred up, get it poured into the gun. Okay, let's see if we can get it in the gun without spilling it all over the place. I like these little buckets. Alright, cool. Not too bad, didn't spill a drop, I can't believe it. Snap the cap back on it here. Don't forget the collar. Alright, we're good to go. Let's get it on the gun. Snap it on here like that and twist and you're on. Got us a brand new tack rag, check it out. All right, I know I've showed you guys this before, but anybody that may have missed it, you kind of want to take these, kind of unfold them all the way. Get them all unfolded. They're gonna be kind of sticky. I mean, that's the whole point of them. But you just take that thing and just kind of sit it somewhere and let it sit for a few minutes so that it's not overly sticky, because when you're wiping it on the surface, you don't want to leave any of the residue behind. So letting it sit for a few minutes does help with that. Okay, you guys, you have to bear with me a little bit. I do got some fans going here. We got to have ventilation when we're doing this. There's just no way around it. So I'm going to take my tack rag and my spray gun. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray air out of my gun at the pressure or around the pressure that I'm going to be spraying the paint. And the way you do that is you just pull the trigger just slightly and you'll get just air, no paint. Now, why am I doing that? Well, I want to kind of blow away any loose dirt and tack it off at the same time. So that's kind of just something we'll do. Just kind of go over it, kind of blow it all out, tack it off at the same time with the same air pressure that we're going to be spraying. All right, so everything is tacked off, ready to go. Basically what we want to do is we want to hit everything that's not gold. So all of these spare parts, we'll want to get a full coat on those first, and over here on our bodywork, we'll want to come in and get full coverage on those areas first, and then after that we'll spread out and do the rest of the whole side of the car. Okay, here we go. Start with the bumper. So here's our first coat. We got pretty good coverage, I think. I think one more and then what they call a control coat ought to get it. You notice I didn't edge in the door yet. I'll edge in the door very last on the last coat because it really only needs one. So there's that. Here's the car over here, still kind of drying. There you go. We've got everything covered up. Now we could go over the whole thing with one complete coat. Well, here it is, y'all. We're all even color all the way around. Look at that. You can't even tell anybody was trying to pry their way into this thing, huh? I think that's going to get it, man. That looks pretty decent. We'll get out here in the morning and get it all put together. I'm so happy with the way that turned out. That is so much better than the way it was. Some of you might have noticed we started out with this size and then somehow immediately ended up with this little one. Well, that's because we had a friggin' disaster. I didn't put it on camera. I should have, but I didn't. Where'd it go anyway? Oh yeah, this guy. This is the liner. We've been using this one liner for the entire 1959 Coronet project, and it finally sprung a leak. It's got a hole in it right there. And I came over and I had a puddle underneath the dang paint gun right there. So I was like, man, we don't even have enough paint as it is. We can't afford that. So I had to hurry up and rush and put it over into the smaller one and all of that. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to grab a camera or even worry about a camera at that moment. It matters just trying to keep from losing all of our paint because we don't have enough. Alrighty, y'all, it is the next morning. I'm out here doing a little color sanding and buffing here and there. I don't want to give away too much. I want to wait and kind of put it together. We'll start the detail and then we'll come back and give you guys like a final reveal of exactly how it all turned out. But there's a little sneak peek. Boy, doesn't that look a lot better than what we started out with? I didn't figure I'd bore you guys too much with the reassembly process since you already seen it come apart anyway. Obviously, it's the same process all over again, just in reverse. I went ahead and ran my wiring harness through the door. That way we can go ahead and plug it in while we're in here. You guys remember these had shouldered bolts, so everything is set. Super easy. All we gotta do is just put them in there and tighten them up. It should fall right into place. Just kind of peeling my masking off as I go. Let's go ahead and get in here and transfer a few things over. We did some prep work on the last video while this door was still plugged in. This is the old door, of course. We went ahead and rolled the window up and down and got the glass, everything all disconnected from the window regulator. That way we can get this out of there and get the glass itself out of there as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. You might notice that you see these lines here. That's where I actually drew an outline of the wiring harness. That way we know exactly how it's routed when we go back in on the other door. You can see it comes through here and it goes over here, and that hooks up to the latch itself up inside of there for the power locks. And then the other one will come here and plug to the regulator and whatnot. So anyway, let's transfer that over. Shouldn't take but a minute. There's also a bolt located in behind this here. We already loosened it off with a wrench, and then it just slides right up out of there. Look at that. So let's go ahead and get this on out of here. We'll have to kind of fish it through. There we go. See it kind of drop out of there. So that was not hard at all. And then now that that's out of the way, we can get the glass out. So I've already got my latch plugged in up inside of there. Now we could just go through here and clip these back on, obviously. Easy enough, right? And because I've got my old door sitting over here, check it out. I could just sit there and look at that and know exactly how this goes back on. Pretty simple. I mean, this one was easy. Didn't really even need to mark it, but some of them could be pretty complex and you'll want to know where everything goes back in. So here we are with the back glass. How do you get this out? Some of you have asked me, and this is how it is. It's a little bit different than the front door. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with front doors. You know, the glass, you just kind of tilt it and pull it up out of there. And this one's a little different because it's got this one here, and this one doesn't move, right? So there's usually going to be a hidden bolt somewhere, and sometimes up top there'll be a screw somewhere. We'll start with this one. It'll be a little tricky getting that out of there. Maybe needle nose pliers, magnet. Sometimes you can get your fingers in there like I just did. All right, so now that that's out of the way, sometimes, like I said, there'll be a screw up in here. If I remember right, when we tore the other door down, I don't remember that being the case on this one, but anyway, let's go ahead and slide this down. Now that our window regulator and everything's out of the way, this is easy. We'll get this kind of dropped down, basically out of the channel, right? And while that's down, I'm gonna go ahead and come in here and pull this out. Now, it should be free if I remember right. Let's pull this off first, actually. It's got this little rubber piece here. It's on there too. There we go, there we go. All right. Maybe that'll help us out a little bit. This will just pop right on out of here. There we go. The run channel is connected to it on this one. You see that? See what I'm saying? That just pulls right up out of there. Super easy, nothing to it, right? And now that back glass, you know, this part here, the part that rolls up and down, this will come out with no issue at all. I say that and then it won't come out. No, seriously, it'll come right on up out of there. Like that. Man, that wasn't hard. That's super easy. That took just a few seconds. So the way this works, let's see if I could do this without dropping it. It slides through the regulator, and then this piece goes in there like that, right? And then this piece slides inside of it, swells it out. That's what holds your glass to your regulator on this one. Sometimes it's held in with bolts. Sometimes it's held in like this. So anyway, all we got to do now is drop the glass down in there. We've already got our regulator set where it needs to be. Remember when we tore it all apart, we did that. Now we're just going to get it in here, kind of line it up. This may take a second. May have to rob the lighting for a minute. There we go. Okay, so I'm lined up with the hole right there. Let's see if we can't get this piece in here. Let's see. I need my other hand. Easy now. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it takes a little bit of fighting, but you'll get it. So we got the plug on the end of the poker here. Remember, this is what we use to push this thing out. We're going to use it to go right back in. See, it's got a beveled end. Can you see it? That's what we're going to stick through here. Something like that. All I got to do is poke that through now. Might give it a few taps with the hammer. Real lightly. It doesn't take much. There, that's it, right there. See about dropping this glass down in here now. All I did was put the glass into the channel. And I'm just kind of sliding it down in there. There we go, just like that. We could get our little 10mm bolt back in. Goes right in this hole, remember? Okay, so now that that's tightened up, we get this up here where it goes. Slide it in the glass as well. And there you have it. Our glass will be in. I remember we told you all this is held in with rivets. Unfortunately, I don't have the right size. It takes some bigger ones there, and all we've got is these little tiny ones. It's not a big deal. Just go right next to it and drill a new hole. You can see here I've got a new hole here. That's going to fit my rivet just fine, and then we will be able to get that fastened in there. So with that riveted all in, all we got to do now is slide our little run channel here into place. Push this all up inside of here like it goes. Pretty simple, right? Look at that. It's almost like it just wants to go back together, right? So we'll get all this situated the way it goes. Something like that there. And then there's another piece that's going to go around on the inside. Yeah, this guy here clips around on the inside, and then that takes care of that. You're basically ready to put on a belt molding and a door panel after that. That'll be all that's left, really. Yeah, this slips in pretty easy. Look at that. So good news, we got the window working. Everything rolls up and down just like it's supposed to. No problems there at all. So let's go ahead and just get the door panel snapped on there. So now it's time for that moisture barrier to go back on. I just want to kind of come through here, just dab a little bit of just some kind of adhesive. I mean, you know, you could use some silicone or something. I don't know, maybe some gasket sealer, what have you. I'm just using that weather stripping stuff we've been using. We use some of that on the old Cobalt to glue the roof molding back on. It should do this just fine. And it don't take much, just a little tiny bead of this stuff all the way around here. And it should go on there just fine. Because the door panel will hold it the rest of the way on. I mean, it ain't going nowhere, believe me. But that'll just help hold it in place until we get the panel on there. And give it something better than tape, you know what I mean? I mean, we could use masking tape. I've seen guys do that a lot. But this will, I think, be a little better than that. Get all our wires and cables and everything fished through here. We got this is for the window switch, of course. And then there's the latch. Let's see, how's this going? Like this. That'll help line us up. Something like that. It ought to be in the neighborhood at least. So before you go trying to snap your door panel into place, make sure you have all your clips. One of ours got trapped in the door over there and I had to go get it out. It goes right here in this little spot. But now's the time to figure all that out. That looks like we've got them all. Yeah, I don't see any missing spots here. So let's go ahead and just get it clicked on there. Make sure we get our wire stuck up through there. This is the tricky part here, is trying to do the latch. Just about to get all the screws popped back in it. See about getting that back on there. There we go. That just clips right on. Cool deal. Simple, easy. As usual, the video's getting too long, you guys. So it's been a minute since I've gotten a video out, so I got to stop. I got to edit all this stuff together. That takes some time, and get this out to you guys. And unfortunately, you'll have to tune in next time to see what all this stuff looks like when it's all back together. Everything, it'll all be back together. So we'll finally get a final reveal right before she goes off to her new owner and all that good stuff. But I got to get out of here for now, you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget my Instagram and Weird Beard on Facebook. Go check it out, man. Send me a friend request. For now, I'm going to get on out of here. And when we tune in next time, man, I think she'll be done. She'll be ready to go.